Hello, amazing English learners. Welcome to a special read aloud designed just for you. Do you sometimes feel nervous about speaking English? Do you worry about making mistakes? This story, The Confidence Code, is here to help. We will follow Lena's journey and learn how to overcome common errors together. Let's start speaking with more confidence. Lena's heart was beating very fast. She just received a fantastic email. Her manager asked her to represent their company at a big international conference in Singapore. She would need to give a 15-minute presentation in English about her team's project. Her first feeling was pride. Her second feeling, which came immediately after, was pure fear. Her English was okay for writing emails and reading reports, but speaking, giving a presentation to a room full of fluent English speakers, this was her biggest nightmare. Immediately, the negative thoughts started. My pronunciation is bad. I will use the wrong grammar. Everyone will laugh at me. What if I can't answer their questions? She felt her face get hot. She wanted to say no. She wanted to hide. This was too much pressure. She looked at the email again. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, but it felt like a trap. She spent the rest of the day feeling anxious. Every time she thought about the conference, her stomach felt nervous. She knew she needed help. Lena decided to find a speaking coach. She signed up for a small group class called English for Professional Presentations. On the first day, she was very nervous. The teacher, Ben, started the class with a simple question. He asked each student to introduce themselves and say one thing they are good at. The first student said, I am good in cooking. The second said, I'm good to play football. When it was Lena's turn, she said quietly, I am good with computers. She made it sound like a question. Ben smiled. Thank you, everyone. You all did a great job. I heard a very common mistake, and it's an easy one to fix. This will be our first confidence rule. He wrote on the whiteboard, I am good at. In English, Ben explained, we use the preposition at 4 skills and abilities. We are good at a thing or good at doing a thing. He wrote examples. Correct. I am good at cooking. Correct. I am good at playing football. Correct. I am good at public speaking. Lena laughed nervously at this one. Correct. I am good at my job. Using the correct preposition might seem small, Ben said, but it makes your English sound much more natural and confident. Now let's try again. Lena, tell me again, what are you good at? Say it like a fact, not a question. Lena took a deep breath. I am good at computers, she said with more certainty. Excellent, Ben said. That sounds confident. Remember, your grammar is the foundation of your confidence. When you know you are using the correct structure, you feel stronger. Lena wrote good at plus noun / gerund in her notebook. It was a small step, but she already felt a tiny bit better. During the next class, Ben asked everyone to talk about their weekend. Lena wanted to talk about seeing a movie. She said, on Saturday, I go to the cinema. I watch a very good film. I eat popcorn. Ben listened kindly. That sounds like a fun weekend, Lena. You use the present tense. I go, I watch, I eat. But because it already happened, we need to use the past tense. Lena knew this rule, but when she spoke quickly, she always forgot. It was one of her most common mistakes. Ben drew a simple timeline on the board. This is now, he said, pointing to the middle. Everything before this line is the past. For regular verbs, we add ed, watch dash watched. For irregular verbs, he smiled, we have to learn them. Go dash went, eat dash ate. He explained that this is a very common mistake because many languages don't change the verb tense as much as English does. It's okay to make this mistake, he said, but fixing it is a huge key to clarity. Let's practice. He gave them a drill. He said a present tense sentence, and they had to say it in the past tense. Ben, I go to the shop. Class, I went to the shop. Ben, she eats lunch. Class, she ate lunch. Ben, they see a bird. Class, they saw a bird. They practiced for 10 minutes. It was tiring, but helpful. Your goal is not perfection, Ben said. Your goal is awareness. Slow down for 1 second before you speak. Ask yourself, is this about the past? If yes, use the past tense. This small pause will make you sound much more fluent. Lena practiced in her head. Yesterday, I went to the market. I bought some fruit. I drank coffee. It felt more correct. She was building her foundation. Lena was working on the first part of her presentation. She wanted to say, which innovative solution will we discuss today? But the words felt strange in her mouth. She kept saying which and vil. She knew the sounds were wrong, but she didn't know how to fix them. She felt embarrassed. At her next class, she asked Ben for help. Ben, I have a problem with the W and V sounds. They sound the same when I say them. Ben was happy she asked. This is an extremely common challenge for speakers of many languages. The difference is very important. Will and vil are two different words. Let's practice the mouth position. Ben explained that for the W sound, as in well, which, what, your lips make a tight, small circle like you're going to kiss someone. There is no contact between your teeth and your lips. Watch me, he said, exaggerating the movement. Will, what, which? The class all tried it, making fish faces at each other and laughing. It was funny, but it worked. Then he explained the V sound, as in very, video have. For this sound, he said, your top teeth must gently touch your bottom lip. You need to create friction. Very, video, have. They all practiced. Now let's try some tricky pairs, Ben said. He wrote them on the board. West versus vest. Wine versus vine. Will versus vil, which is not a word, so it highlights the mistake. They practice saying these words slowly, focusing on the mouth position. Lena said, I will wear a vest to the west. It was difficult, but she could hear the difference. Don't try to be perfect, Ben advised. Just be clear. Slowing down and forming the sounds correctly is better than speaking fast and being misunderstood. Clarity builds confidence. Lena realized that pronunciation wasn't magic. It was a physical skill she could practice like playing a sport. Another big problem for Lena was the TH sound. She wanted to say, I think this project is important for the three main reasons. But her think sounded like sink or tink, and three sounded like tree. Ben dedicated a whole part of the class to this infamous sound. This sound is famous for being difficult, he said, but it is also very common. You cannot avoid it. So we must conquer it. And the secret is you have to stick your tongue out. Everyone laughed. I'm serious. Ben said, laughing too. He demonstrated. For the didn't think, three, thank you, it is a soft sound. Put the tip of your tongue between your teeth and blow air out. Think, three, thank you. He made everyone do it. It felt silly, but it was also freeing. They weren't just students. They were a team trying to make funny sounds. Lena finally did it. Think, she said. It sounded perfect. Wow, she said. Again. Ben then explained the other TH sound, the vibrating one in this, that, the mother. The mouth position is the same. Tongue between teeth, but this time, use your voice. Make a sound. Feel the vibration. He put his hand on his throat. ZZ uses the voice, but SSSS does not. Thighs uses the voice. Practice this and that. The mother. They spent the next 15 minutes practicing sentences like, I think this is better than that, and thank you for the thing. It was the most fun Lena had ever had in an English class. She learned that not taking yourself too seriously is a big part of gaining confidence. It's okay to sound silly while you're learning. Lena was writing her presentation and wanted to say, my presentation begins at 10 a.m. on Monday in October. But she started to doubt herself. Why at for time? Why on for day? Why in for month? Prepositions were a nightmare. They seemed to have no rules. At the next class, she asked Ben about it. Prepositions. Ben said, the tiny words that cause the biggest headaches. You cannot memorize every single rule. It's impossible. Instead, learn the most common patterns. Think in pictures. He drew 3 simple icons on the board. 1. A clock face at for specific times at 10 o'clock at lunchtime at night. 2. A calendar with 1 day circled. On for days and dates, on Monday, on October 5th on my birthday. 3. A full monthly calendar. I in for longer periods in October, in 2023, in the summer, in the 20th century. This is not a perfect rule, Ben said, but it covers 90% of what you need. So for your sentence, Lena, it is perfect at 10 a.m. on Monday in October. He then addressed another common problem, on time versus in time. These are different, he said. On time means punctual at the planned time. The conference started on time. In time means early enough, not too late. I arrived in time to get a good seat. Lena found this visual method very helpful. It was easier to remember a picture than a long list of rules. She was starting to see patterns in the chaos of English. Lena was reviewing her presentation slides. She had written, "This is an innovative solution for the problem." She felt something was wrong. She asked Ben to check it. Articles, Ben said. And in the many languages don't have these, so they're very tricky. He held up a pen. If I say, this is a pen, I am talking about any pen. It's not specific. It's one of many pens in the world. Then he placed the pen on the table and pointed directly at it. But if I say, please pass me the pen, I am talking about that specific pen. You know which one I mean. He then held up an apple. We use them before a word that begins with a vowel sound. An apple, an hour, an umbrella. Lena looked at her sentence. This is an innovative solution. Is innovative a vowel sound? Ben asked. Lena thought. I know. It sounds like that's not a vowel. Right, Ben said. So, it should be an innovative solution. But wait, let's listen. Innovative. Does that sound smooth? Lena said it out loud. Innovative. No, it sounds choppy. Exactly, Ben said. Even though the rule says before a consonant sound, sometimes we use in for smoother speaking if the word starts with a vowel, even if the first sound is a consonant like Y or W. But innovative starts with an I sound, which is a vowel. So the correct article is an. Lena was confused. But I is a vowel? Yes, Ben said. The rule is about the sound, not the letter. Innovative is pronounced innovative. The first sound is IH, a vowel sound. So we say an innovative solution. It sounds smoother. He wrote the rule. Use and before a word that begins with a vowel sound. A-E-I-O-E. It's a university, because it starts with a Y sound, but an hour, because the H is silent. Lena's head was spinning, but she understood it was a process. She corrected her slide to an innovative solution. She was learning that attention to these small details would make her sound much more professional. It was time for Lena to practice her full presentation in class. She stood up, took a deep breath, and began. Hello, everyone. My name is Lena. Today, I will talk about my project. I think maybe it is a good solution. Sorry, this slide is a bit messy. Ben stopped her after 1 minute. Lena, the information is great, but your language is too weak and apologetic. You are the expert on your project. You need to sound like you believe in it. He explained a key confidence trick. Use powerful language. Instead of saying, I think maybe it's a good solution, say, I believe this is an effective solution, or our data shows this is a strong solution. This doesn't sound arrogant. It sounds professional and confident. He gave her more examples. Weak. Sorry, this slide is messy. Confident. Let's turn to the next slide. Just move on. Weak. I'm not sure, but perhaps we can. Confident. One approach we can take is weak. This is just my opinion, but confident. Based on our research. Also, Ben said, remove the filler words. Like, it's better to be silent for a second to gather your thoughts. Silence feels long to you, but to the audience, it makes you sound calm and in control. Lena tried again. She replaced her weak phrases with stronger ones. She paused instead of saying, The difference was amazing. She sounded more confident, and that actually made her feel more confident. It was a powerful cycle. The day of the mock conference arrived. Lena was dressed professionally. She was nervous, but she was prepared. She remembered her tools, correct prepositions, good at, past tense for past events, clear pronunciation, versus video, strong teach sounds, the right prepositions of time, powerful language, and purposeful pauses. She began her presentation. Good morning. My name is Lena Cruz. I am good at developing innovative solutions. Today, I will show you a project my team developed last year. No. She corrected herself with a smile. I am confident that this solution will help many people. She continued. She made a few small mistakes. She said in Monday, but quickly corrected herself to on Monday. But she didn't panic. She just kept going. She remembered Ben's most important advice. Your goal is communication, not perfection. People want to understand your great ideas, not count your mistakes. When she finished, everyone clapped. Her classmates gave her positive feedback. Your sound was so clear, one said. You sounded like a real professional, said another. Ben was beaming. Lena, that was fantastic. You were clear, confident, and engaging. You are ready. The day of the real conference arrived. The stage was huge. The audience was enormous. For a moment, the old fear returned. What if I make a mistake? Then, she heard Ben's voice in her head. Communication, not perfection. She saw the friendly faces of her classmates from the mock conference. She walked to the podium, adjusted the microphone, and took a silent breath. She looked out at the audience and smiled. Good morning, she said, her voice clear and steady. It is a pleasure to be here with you in Singapore on this beautiful morning. She delivered her presentation. She used her strong language. She pronounced her words clearly. She told them about the project her team had developed. She spoke for 15 minutes without rushing. When she finished, the audience applauded loudly. During the question and answer session, someone asked a difficult question. Instead of panicking, Lena said, "That's an excellent question. Let me think about that for a moment." She used the silence powerfully, then gave a thoughtful answer. She didn't know it all, and that was okay. Afterward, people came up to her to congratulate her and ask more questions. She had done it. She had not been perfect, but she had been perfectly understandable. And most importantly, she had spoken with confidence. She realized that confidence in English isn't about knowing every word or rule. It is about being prepared, being clear, and being brave enough to share your voice with the world. She had finally unlocked her English speaking power. And that is the end of Lena's story. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker once felt nervous. Your mistakes are not failures. They are proof that you are learning. Keep practicing, be brave, and most importantly, keep speaking. Thank you for listening.